Federal Drive is presented by GEHA, Government Employees Health Association, proudly providing health and dental benefits to federal employees and their families. Visit GEHA.com.
Prize competitions have grown in popularity. They help agencies find needed new technologies and potential suppliers at low cost, and they introduce new companies to federal business. The Army has had a lot of success with prize competitions. For an update, I spoke to the director of the Office of Army Prize Competitions, Dr. Matthew Willis.
The X-Tech program, so that's our prize competition portfolio, is really designed for companies that have never worked with the Army. They might not understand their value proposition, their return on investment, and it's really designed to demystify the process. So I'd say companies that have never worked with the government before, or the Army in particular, utilizing X-Tech as a way to sort of get their foot in the door, do customer discovery, understand technical applications for their capabilities, is really the design for the prize competition portfolio.
And that's called X-Tech then?
That's
the
called
prize
X-Tech.
competition. What kind of outreach do you have to do to make sure you're identifying who's out there? Because there could be companies you're overlooking.
Absolutely. Tremendous amount of outreach. So a significant portion of the program is really focused on how we can inform companies that we exist, that the Army invests in technologies beyond just the, traditional defense industries, right? We're investing in artificial intelligence. We're investing in clean energy. We're investing in autonomy and other things that have commercial sector applications that then the Army's trying to use so we can field the greatest technologies to our soldiers.
Now you have two competitions going at the moment. Describe those and what it is you're looking for.
Yeah, so one of the competitions is the X-Tech Scalable AI 2 competition. So this specifically focuses on artificial intelligence capabilities that are going to be used to support Project Linchpin. So Project Linchpin, for the listeners out there, is the program that provides the underpinning for how the Army is going to integrate artificial intelligence across all of the different Army platforms that are in the field. And so this competition in particular is bringing in new small businesses, at least 50 or 60% of which have never worked with the Army, and we are specifically investing in AI companies to support, Project Linchpin.
And so how does it work? They have what happens? They submit an idea, and then you down select, and they get a...
Yeah, so it's really designed to be like a zero barrier to entry, right? Go into the zero entry kiddie pool, right? So companies submit a short white paper, we do a down select, and we provide cash prizes, which are intended to offset engagement costs. So rather than the traditional model where a company might have to do a lot of market research, go and talk to Army customers all over the place, go to industry events, that all costs something, right?
Sure.
So the X-Tech competition was designed to provide cash prizes to companies to basically offset that participation cost. So their return on investment, at the end, they potentially might get an SBIR prototyping contract, but it's not like they get to the end and they have outlaid all these expenses, but they aren't recompensed at all. So this is really, again, designed to change the value proposition for companies for working with the Army.
So it's a two-stage idea. You get all the ideas, then you down-select, and there's a second phase, and then some winner is selected?
Yeah, it depends. So with this particular competition, it opened earlier this year. There was an initial down-select based on the white paper. Companies came in and gave pitches, and we did another down-select to 20 companies, which are here this week at AUSA. We're comping booth space for them, which is expensive.
Yes, indeed.
And
takes 20 union electricians to set up a booth and plug a light bulb in.
Exactly. So one company is going to win $100,000 in cash prizes and be eligible for a follow-on prototyping award of up to $2 million.
And can the prototyping award be either an other transaction authority or a SBIR deal?
It can really be anything. Prize competitions themselves are very flexible. This particular competition is aligned with the SBIR program, so these will be SBIR contracts.
We're speaking with Dr. Matthew Willis, Director of the Office of Army Prize Competitions, and the second one going, we talked about Scalable AI 2. What else do you have cooking?
So there's, a few other competitions ongoing. I think over the next year we're going to have...
I just looked at your website.
Yeah,
I saw two, but...
We have at least 10 competitions that are going to be executed in FY25. It's very exciting. Many of them are tied to Project Linchpin. We also have our annual flagship open topic competition. So this is an opportunity, X-Tech Search. Companies can submit any technology, right? And so this is, again, has been a flagship competition. We've run it every year. This will actually be our 9th competition. So we're definitely excited as a mechanism, again, to bring in new ideas and continually generate innovation across the Army ecosystem.
And so the things that could be brought in by new companies in open topic don't necessarily have to be digital. Could it be some new metallurgy way?
Absolutely.
Or some new platform that flies?
Yes. I mean, so, and I think that, what a lot of folks don't understand about the Army, right, is we invest in a huge spectrum of technology, from A to Z. We're focused, we have platforms, soldier, anything the soldier touches on a day-to-day basis, we are investing R&D in. So there's a huge customer base for the Army.
And what are some of the projects that stand out in your mind that have productized, let's say, from the years of competitions?
Yeah, so there's been a few very interesting ones. I think that there was one specific firm, for instance, that they were really focused on the commercial sector. So they were developing capabilities for autonomous vehicle mapping. And they never saw the Army as a potential customer. They didn't necessarily realize that we were investing in robotic combat vehicles, or that their capability could be used in a place where we maybe don't have a GPS signal, right? And so this company was able to take this product that they were developing, for autonomous vehicles driving through neighborhoods, and pivot to support the Army as a potential customer. And they've been able to progress that capability pretty far, and they were actually one of the companies that received one of our inaugural SBIR Catalyst Awards, which actually allows R&D contracts up to $15 million. So they're going to leverage those funds to develop a more robust capability that has a high potential for transition.
And do you also get demand signals from within the Army? Say, can you find us somebody that can do X, Y, Z?
Absolutely. And so I think that's actually a big shift from the way the Army has leveraged the X-Tech program and the SBIR program in the last few years. Whereas previously we had lots of projects that focused on a spectrum of technologies. Now we are actually working directly with our customers across the Army to identify what that demand signal is. So what do they need from a technology standpoint? When do they need it? And notionally, how can we get there utilizing mechanisms like X-Tech or like the SBIR program? They're very, very flexible programs, and the Army, the ASALT in general, has really been doubling down on how we can leverage these mechanisms to get small businesses into the pipeline to support Army programs.
And do they ever get married up, say, with large companies once they're through that could scale production, for example, that the small company may not have the capacity for?
It's like I fed these questions now. Yes, absolutely.
I've been following this a long time.
Yes, so through the Catalyst program, actually, that requires a partnership between a small business, an Army transition partner, and a prime or an integrator. So we really see these larger businesses as vehicles to help companies deal with scaling challenges, deal with manufacturing issues, deal with other challenges. We also had an X-Tech competition, X-Tech Prime, which required, again, partnership. So
it's a new form of almost mentor-protege,
yes,
if you will.
Yep.
In other words, if someone came up with a better MRE, and probably that's in the pipeline somewhere, you would say at the end, great, but we need 20 million of them.
Right. So yes, I think we're trying to provide that conduit or that mechanism, like you said, to go from one prototype to, the Army needs 10,000 end items, right? And so how can we give resources to small businesses so we can still tap into innovation that's happening there while also being able to scale to a level where the Army needs.
And a final question, do you help the winners, and then once they get partnered with an integrator or a large manufacturer, manage the intellectual property questions that probably inevitably come up?
Absolutely. And so in the X-Tech program, the Army takes zero interest in intellectual property that's developed through that mechanism.
Yeah, I meant more between the company and the larger mentor.
We do provide resources. So through the Army, we have an intellectual property cadre who can provide resources directly to small businesses to help them negotiate that pathway. Absolutely.
Dr. Matthew Willis.